Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Inter United. You already know what you're looking at. You're looking at greatness, success, freedom, America, Christian, Pulisic. He put it all on the line. His family, his life, his jewels, his kit. Nope, he did not lose his penis in the process of this game. I know what y'all were thinking if you watched this game. Yes, viva, viva la America, USA, USA. But yes, the man's penis is still connected to his body. It did not get dislocated during the game. I saw it too. I know what y'all were looking at when y'all saw this. When y'all saw this face, there's only one thing that could have been on your mind is that Christian is not going to reproduce a Pulisic Jr. to play for this national team at all. I was thinking the same thing, but nope, he's okay. He definitely looks like there's like some sort of vitriol or like some sort of emotional content going on between him and this goalkeeper. Like, how could you do that to me? But as it turns out, he's gonna be all right. He's okay. He's hurt, but he hurt his abdomen, not his penis, which means he will be playing the next game as we advance to the round of 16. That means I was wrong about Group B, although I was right about Group A. We'll get into that later. But first, talking about Group B, talking about the standings. All right, so my last video, my Match Day 2 video, was took down due to a copyright strike in which I talked about the Iran national team and how they were protesting the national anthem in due respect to the morality police and their alleged actions against a 22-year-old Iranian woman who was murdered allegedly by the hands of the morality police. And this was sort of their stand to say that they are with the Iranian people. And they took a stance of not singing during the national anthem. This did not go very well with the Iranian national media, and some members of this media were pretty much already riled up. And what does the US media director do when he sees this? He decides, yes, as you are looking on your screen, that is not Hungary, that is a modified, mutilated flag of Iran. He decided to take out, oh, okay, let's just take out the little red decal in the Iranian flag, to show that we stand with the Iranian people. That little red decal, when you read the symbol, it reads Allah. They took Allah out of the Iranian flag. That is like super, super, super like I mean, obviously the USA doesn't have anything religious in their flag, but like if you could imagine, like instead of the straws, it was like the straws. Instead of the stars, it was like a cross. And then they just took the cross out of the flag. Like that doesn't show that you stand with our people. That just shows that like you're like Islamophobic, or if they took crosses out, it would be like what, Christian phobic or whatever the word is for that. Like this is literally like, why? Like, what are you accomplishing? They riled up the Iranian media. By the way, I know that's not the way to pronounce that now, but I also don't really know the right way to pronounce it. But basically, the Iranian media had a field day with the U.S. players, staff, coaches, everybody. Greg had to apologize for it, but then they got on top of Tyler Adams, and this is what they had to say. I think this will be really good and important to watch. It's Iranian. I apologize. Our country is named Iran, not Iran. Please, once and for all. Or maybe I was right. I don't know. Second of all, are you okay to be representing a country that has so much discrimination against black people in its own borders? And we saw the Black Lives Matter movement over the past few years.
My apologies on the mispronunciation of your country. Yeah, that being said, there's discrimination everywhere you go. one thing that I've learned, especially from living abroad in the past years and having to fit in different cultures, is that in the U.S. we're continuing to make progress every single day. I grew up in a white family with an obviously an African American heritage and background as well. So I had a little bit of different cultures, and I was very easily able to assimilate in different cultures. So not everyone has that ease and the ability to do that, and obviously it takes longer to understand. And through education, I think it's super important.
So what he's saying here, through education, basically, we can learn through our experiences that we have with people, um, to make modifications in our attitude and our behaviors that will allow us to better interact with others. That's just a fact, and he handled this interview so well, giving his personal experience with his, I believe it's adopted white family. Um, it's just so good, and I'm skipping a little bit ahead because I don't want to get copyright strike, but I'm just keep playing.
Pronunciation of your country. So
But he right there when I edited out, he said basically uh, he also was educated in the mispronunciation of that country.
yeah, it's a process. I think as long as you see progress, that's the most important thing. You say
All right, so I thought that was excellent interview, um, and it really got to the heart of what the real problem is, and he handled a very hot and divisive question that was designed to get him to say something stupid. But that is our captain, ladies and gentlemen. That is why he is our USMNT captain. He handled it beautifully and just wow, just really wow. I'm even more proud of the way he played. Honestly, this entire World Cup, Tyler Adams has been excellent. He's proved me wrong every step of the way. I was worried about how he would play, um, given that before he went to Leeds, his form was really dipping down. But so far, he has played well, so you got to give him credit. But anyways, moving on, because we've got a whole bunch of conspiracies. This is just one conspiracy to go into. Basically, there's been another conspiracy theory with Gio Reyna in several match days now. Now, 3 match days in a row. He's only come off the bench. He's had less time than Shaq MF Moore. Okay. What's going on? Well, allegedly, according to an ex national team player, Wijnaldum, Gio Reyna Gio Reyna, guys, the American, if you don't know, this is like the next American Messi, right? Gio Reyna was told by Greg Berhalter to lie to the media and say that he was injured when in fact he was not. He came out after the first World Cup game, in which he did not play at all against Wales, and said that he did not have an injury. Greg said that he actually did, that he had tightness in his legs or whatever. Again, Reyna said, "Nah, no, I don't." Um, Apparently, this created a rift in which Greg said, "Okay, well, because you didn't lie and because you're going against what I said, you're not going to play." And Claudio, which is Reyna's father, also Claudio Reyna is also ex national team player legend. Um, Claudio is basically backing up these claims of Wijnaldum and is essentially, allegedly, extremely angry with Greg. Um, Greg has come out in this post by The Guardian, which I'm going over. Greg has come out and said, quote, "That's just not who I am." So, not really like a good combative argument against it. Look, this is what I think about this whole thing. I think there is an argument to be said that Greg Berhalter probably didn't like the fact that Gio said something different regarding his injury than what Greg came out and said. So he probably wasn't happy with that. That's probably true. And that's most likely what the real thing was that Claudio was talking about. However, the part I don't necessarily believe is that he's intentionally keeping him out solely based on this reason alone. I think the real reason is that Weah and Aronson are just hot, and therefore they're just getting more minutes. Gio Reyna was coming off an injury beforehand against Dortmund, and I think legit he just hasn't had enough time to shine. If you want Weah to get minutes, Pulisic is always going to get minutes, but Weah scored the first goal. If you want him to get minutes, well, it really comes down to, yeah, sure, Rain is coming off an injury, but what can he give you right now? I think he can give you more than Aronson. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that. I'm not. I would pick Reyna over Aronson, but yeah, that's just me. Either way, I don't think this is as big of a conspiracy as people are making it out to be. Okay, that being said, let's move on because we've got more to talk about. Those are just the main controversies. There's another controversy that happened with Juventus, but we'll leave that alone for right now. Okay, so yeah, for Group A, I'll go over really, really quick. Group A pretty much went exactly how I thought it would go because I knew Ecuador really could be a problem, really had the potential to be a problem with great players like Inter Valencia. Inter Valencia was hot this entire World Cup, but that injury against Netherlands and that draw were, I think that really set them back. Of course, Netherlands was always the one that was marginally better than the rest of the teams in that group, but nah, really, this Ecuador team was very uh, underrated, I think, in this World Cup. However, they just didn't have the depth necessary. When Inter Valencia comes back from that injury, because he's kind of rushed and had to start, because they don't have the depth necessary to compete against these veteran teams like Senegal, who have more depth than them. Well, you see the result. Senegal beat them, and Valencia had a real stinker, tied for the worst SOFA score. And I know a lot of people don't like SOFA score, that's fine, but tied for the worst SOFA score in his team. That pretty much says it all. All right. Uh, all that being said, if we could just real quick talk about Group B. Uh, Group B did not go how I expected it to go. Of course, I expected Iran to win against the U.S., and I thought U.S. would struggle, honestly, a little bit more. I'm glad that we got the draw against England. I didn't see that coming. However, I did see the draw coming against teams like Wales. And honestly, I saw a draw coming against Iran as well. But nope, we were able to get ahead. And hey, somehow, if y'all watched this game, I'm assuming most of y'all did, somehow we held on at the very, very end and did not let Iran score. So, hey, that's all. This is a real quick video. Just wanted to go over a couple of things. Keep in mind, in the future, I will be going over round of 16 predictions. My predictions for all of Group A was correct, and my predictions for most of Group B was correct. So, hey, we're on a roll here. I'm hoping to keep it going. Make sure you stay tuned. Follow me at Inter United on Twitter. Subscribe at Inter United on YouTube. And yeah, like if you liked, dislike if you didn't.